It's your man Dominic. We back talking sports. My man Ray, my man
What
Ray.
up,
You
world?
already know the
Back,
deal.
welcome
We
back.
back. We
We
took a
back.
little hiatus.
We
I had a
back, baby.
baby. It is what it is. But we back here. We talk. We're ready to talk. We're ready to get back engaged into the season, to the NBA season. Talk about what's happening, what we doing, who's out here, who's not. So, simple fact is, we're gonna talk about the Eastern Conference, the NBA playoffs, the Eastern Conference. So, let's start off with a series that we both found interesting. Let's talk.
Let's go.
Let's talk a little bit about the. Let's talk a little bit about how about we do the Bulls and the Bucks. Who you like and why? Let's start with you, Ian.
All right. So I like the Bucks, of course. Why? Because he's a killer, man. He's a monster. Middleton is a monster. They still have the potential. They still have a good squad, even though they lost PJ Tucker, one of their 3-point weapons. But until another team wins a championship in the East, Bucks, even though they're in third seed, they still remain, the kings of the West. The kings of the East. They own the East. Giannis, Middleton, they're the kings of the East. They're champions, defending champs.
Yeah, makes sense. What about you, Ray?
I'm not. I agree with it. I agree. I think the Bucks are the favorites. Giannis, phenomenal player. I think he is going to be one of the greats. He's tough to stop, man. I can't think of a time where I said Giannis had an off day. Like he's always been 100%. He's always giving it night in, night out. I think it's gonna be really difficult to beat him in 7 games. But I want to say one thing though. If Lonzo Ball happens to come back, we have a series. And I think the Bulls can have the edge if Lonzo Ball comes back. But that all depends on if Lonzo comes back. If he does not come back, I got the Bucks in 6 games.
It's Bucks in 6 games.
Bucks in 6 games.
Honestly, I think this is if presently constructed, if Zach LaVine is not 100% and DeMar DeRozan is left out there by himself, this is a gentleman's sweep, 4-1, I think. With no Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso being questioned as well in terms of his health. So I think this is one of those series that you can kind of get, that the Bucks will go out here and show you why they're NBA champions. I think also the Bucks didn't want to go for it to get the 2 seed, which is very interesting, and why they didn't want to go and get that 2 seed, which I thought they should have. But I agree with you guys, gentlemen, that I think the Bucks win this series, whether it's in 4, whether it's in 5, whether it's in 6, or whether it's 4. That's to be determined. But I think.
But can we give? Let's just take like a minute. Can we give the appreciation DeMar DeRozan deserves this whole season, bro?
Yeah,
of course. He's been killing it. He's been killing it
this whole season. And
he had a really good regular season, but
he had a good run. MVP potential.
MVP potential. I think he fizzled out. I think he fizzled out because the team fizzled out, and I think it started to show.
That's my case.
That you do have to have a legitimate team. But let's get to the next series.
You drop 30, you drop 30, 40 points every night, you're gonna burn out come playoff time. Period.
Yeah, probably.
Right. Let's go. Hawks, Heat.
Oh yes.
Who you got, right? Who you got?
Listen, I've been telling my brother this, and I've been telling a couple of my cousins this. I got the Heat coming out of the East. And this is why. Jimmy, let me explain.
Go ahead.
Has proved in the playoffs that he's an actual problem. Like LeBron, the Lakers won in 2020, but Jimmy Butler was the second best player in that series. And I think if Jimmy Butler has the same intensity in these playoffs, Miami will be a problem. And we got they got Victor Oladipo back. Victor Oladipo just dropped 40 the other night. Are you kidding me? Miami, to me, I think is going to be the team to beat in the East. but I got Miami in 5. I think Trae Young's a good player, but I just don't think he has the weapons to beat this team. That's just my opinion.
All right. As crazy as this may sound, now I'm back and forth on the New York wagons and also the Georgia team wagons, being that I done caught the Georgia virus and I'm loving the state. So I'm gonna go with the underdogs in this series. Hawks in 7, because Trae Young, he's like Juan, getting better and better every year. He's a young stud. He's a young killer. And the Hawks, they're stacked with shooters from Gallinari to a Herder to DeAndre Hunter. They have, they're young. They have a great young core. They're a good young potential team. But what scares me is Clint Capella might not be available for the series because he got hurt in the play-in tournament against the Cavaliers when Evan Mobley fell on his leg. So he's their key defensive man, and that's who they're going to need for the series. If not, the Hawks would be in trouble, but I'm not giving out on the Hawks. I think the Hawks
Let's not forget PJ Tucker. Let's not forget PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
That he added PJ Tucker this year. And Tyler Hero, who could be the 6th man of the year.
Yep.
I think it's too much for the Hawks.
Yeah, the Heat is a dangerous team.
I think it's a series, and I do think the Heat pull it out because of the lack of depth and the lack of a co-star with Trae Young, just due to that one fact. And I think Trae Young scares them. I wouldn't be surprised. It's one of those series that I wouldn't be surprised if the Hawks beat the Heat. If the Hawks somehow beat the Heat and eliminate the Heat, I'm not surprised. Now, what do I expect? I expect the Heat to take care of business within 6 games and, move on to the next round and face the winner out of the, they're the one, and so they will be facing the winner out of the Sixers and the Sixers and the Raptors. So I expect a tough, interesting series.
Yeah.
I expect, the games to go back and forth. I do not expect a sweep in this series. I do expect about a 6-game series. I expect 6 games. And I expect the winner of Game 5 will win the series. So whoever wins Game 5 wins this series. That's how I look at it. I know it's going past 5 games. That's my philosophy.
Yeah, I'm waiting for 1 o'clock, man. I can't wait.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get to the next series.
Let's go.
I think these next 2 series that you're about to talk about, I think these are the most watched series that we're gonna.
No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one.
My most watched.
I'm talking about Philly too.
No.
But after
Philly
yesterday,
and Raptors. That's who we about to talk about next.
But either after that or sooner or later, Memphis and Minnesota. That series.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that series.
Oh yeah, that's but what do you guys think about Sixers and Raptors? Who you got and why?
Okay. Let me say something before I give you my opinion on who's gonna win. I wanna address this to Mr. James Harden. Listen, Harden, you've been in the league for X amount of years. You had multiple teammates. You had Chris Paul. We gave you Russell Westbrook, your homeboy, your friend from back when you were a little kid. We gave you Dwight Howard in his prime. There's no more excuses. We gave you KD. We gave you Kyrie.
Right.
There's no more excuses. You really need to show what you are about in these playoffs.
Facts.
Every single year, man, you choke. You get out the first round. You make it to the second round. And let's not even talk about the Warriors because Chris Paul was running that series. I'm tired of year by year you bitching and complaining, bro. And I like your game, bro. But you need to show us. And it's not fair for Joel Embiid to take all the work because we know year after year, James Harden, all he does is choke and his other teams put in the work. And it's not fair for Joel Embiid. So if James Harden can get his shit together, they should be able to smack this team in 4 or 5 games. There should be if this team goes to a Game 7, the Sixers will not win the championship. They cannot. Toronto's good, but you should be able to smack this team. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, what's what's the response to that?
My response is I got the 70s. Well, I had Philly in Game 6 because of James Harden, the weapon that they added to the puzzle, and Embiid, as we know, is a killer, and the younger core built around him. Now the Raptors, I'm not gonna go with a sweep because of the young team that they got built together. Scotty Barnes is a young rookie killer, and
That's my guy.
and Gary Trent.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be able to. They shouldn't be able to get them in 6 games. Even I think that's disrespectful. If James lets it go to 6 games, bro, you're not winning. You're not getting the ring.
Yeah. But it's a lot of competition in the East this year. That's why I'm not calling no sweeps. I'm not calling any, any sweeps.
It's not necessarily a sweep. I'll give Nick Nurse and the Toronto Raptors a chance to, because they play hard, they play well, and everything, that they can get a game, But they should not get more than a game. I mean, Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, James Harden. So it's not just James Harden that has to show up. It's Tobias Harris. You've been missing in action. So Tobias Harris and James Harden need to show up and show why they got paid. And James Harden, you supposed to be getting paid again. If you don't show up, and if Daryl Morey, if James Harden doesn't show up and show out, and put himself on the map, you better not pay that man. If you pay that man,
don't pay that man.
But it could, it could. But the series, but now, unless because Scotty Barnes got hurt yesterday too, so the series could possibly go to 4 or 5 games. Raptors may only get 1.
Here's the thing, though.
Scotty Barnes isn't back.
No disrespect to Toronto. They have a really good young team, and they could potentially beat Cleveland in a couple years. And they're well coached. But if I'm Philly and I just got James Harden, I'm not thinking about some rebuild team that's going to beat me. Like, a rebuilding team should not get you to Game 6. I just think it's disrespectful.
It should be a sweep. Let's be honest.
It's like varsity versus freshman. It's not. It shouldn't be. It should be a sweep.
It should be. This should be the one series you sit here and say Philly should sweep them, because Toronto got hot late. They also have an advantage that nobody in the crowd and stuff like that in Canada, so that kind of helps Toronto Raptors out. It's a little unedgy. Nobody likes going to Canada, but when you're Philly, you're gonna be in Canada for a whole week to play 2 games. So at the end of the day, you should be prepared to go out there and knock them out early and take care of business at home, because you're in. So you take care of your business at home and you knock them out on the road, and it's a done series. You let them know early you are not on the same playing field, and they have nobody that can answer Joel Embiid. They have nobody to answer Joel Embiid, and they should have nobody that can answer even James Harden. So those two alone should just be enough to go out here, and it should be 15-point blowouts towards the end of the game. Maybe a tight game because Toronto will play hard, but it should be a blowout. It should be a blowout. And if it's not that, Ray, I agree. Then Philly, you're not winning the chip this year. If you are in tight series and you go to a 6-game series, the next team, the Heat or the Hawks, will win. They will spank you. They will go to the Eastern Conference. So they will get you, okay? Because they're gonna be iron sharpens iron. So the Heat and the Hawks, that's a tough series. But let's get to the series we don't want to talk about. Let's get to the series we don't want to talk about, folks.
This is the series right here.
This is the series we're talking about. We're talking about that old city, that good old city, the city with 17 chips, and that city with the new boys.
Boston and Nets. Boston and Nets.
We talking about probably the first round most watched series. We talking about Kyrie against his old team,
bro.
Young Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
How the hell Boston get number 2, man? How did Boston get the second seed? What the hell?
I'm gonna let the Celtic guys go first, because I want to hear.
I gotta hear your thoughts.
No, I'm with the Knicks now. I'm with the Knicks. These are Celtic. I'm back with the Knicks.
Oh, you're with the. Oh,
I got back with them in during the midseason.
And you know what? And you just
Hey,
like certain teams. You just
Huh?
like certain teams. And I don't think you're like a team guy, like a one team guy. I think you like certain teams. Like me, I like the Celtics because obviously I'm from Mass, and then I like the Sixers because I lived in Philly for a little while. So
we know how much you love them damn Celtics. Trust me, we know.
Yeah,
Boy,
you love your Celtics.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I like players though.
No, I was
like
rooting,
players.
but
I'm a
I
fan
started
of players. So
when
I
I
like
first.
Damian Lillard. I like John Morant. I like players. I like to watch them play.
That's
So you can be that too. Some people are not like a team guy. They're a fan of players.
That's D. It's funny, D. It's funny that you brought that up because that's how I first started out when I first got into basketball when I was a kid. In the 90s, Michael Jordan, early 2000s, Allen Iverson, Kobe, Shaq. Then later on, back and forth with the Knicks and other teams. But that's what kind of fan I am. Both.
Yeah, I don't think you're not a Celtics fan. I think you like the Celtics. I think you like the Knicks. I
Players.
think you like Brooklyn. I think you like the Hawks because of Trae Young and stuff like that and what they're doing, and because that's you live in Georgia.
Absolutely.
So I think that's what it is. I think that's
There's
nothing wrong. Like you can like players.
No.
Like I'm a Celtics fan, but I liked Kobe Bryant. I liked Kobe's game.
Yeah.
I like the Mamba mentality. I like, I'm a Celtics fan.
LeBron.
I didn't like LeBron in the beginning, but towards like a certain time period in the league, I started to really I like watching him play. I love to watch him play because he played the right way at the end of the day. So, but let's get on top.
Let's get back into the series.
Let's get back into it.
Yeah, it's getting good.
Let's talk about it. What's your thoughts? Boston or Brooklyn? What you thinking?
Well, hold on, let me pull up my picks. Boston, of course. I want the Nets to lose. If it ain't the Knicks, I don't care. I don't give a damn about the Nets. But let me see. Sorry, guys, I'm just pulling up my picks. But the Boston and the Nets, I think this one is gonna go to 7 games. Even though Nets is in 7th place, but come on now, we talking Kevin Durant. We talking Kyrie Irving, and we talking that young core that's built around him. Nick Claxton, B.J. Brown, Joe Harris, and them. So I think Boston's gonna get away still, but I don't think they're gonna get off that easy. But they got to find a way to stop Durant and Kyrie Irving, the main to the table. You stop them, you got the Nets. So, Boston in 7.
What do you think, Ray?
All right.
Go ahead, Ray.
I'm not asking, what do I think? Listen, before I give my opinion on who's going to see, I want to say big shout out to your team, Dom, and Celtics. Big shout out because, listen, before we were saying we don't even know if they were going to make it into the playoffs, and now they're in 2nd place. That was crazy winning streak they went on. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought Jason Tatum did his thing.
Shout outs to Ime Udoka.
Listen, I have a lot of respect for Boston, even though I can't stand them. I have a lot of respect for them because they and now they're making notice. But I think they got matched up with the absolutely worst first round team you want to get matched up with. Kyrie has been phenomenal. Okay? And now that he is able to play anywhere in the States because the vaccination is not a thing anymore, now it's even going to be more of a problem. So I think with Kyrie, how the way he's playing, and KD, obviously KD never comes up short, I think it's going to be a really big problem for the Celtics. And now we're talking about Ben Simmons might be making his return. Listen, I know the dude has not been playing all year, but we're not going to just say he's some bum. If he can at least get them 13 a game, 13 and 11 assists, they're going to win. It's going to be a different, because he's hard to guard. I don't care how bad his offense is. He's hard to stay in front of.
He's hard.
And it's got Andre Drummond, and you got Curry. I think
he's stacked with weapons.
Yeah, I think the Celtics, if they're lucky, they can go to a game 7. I think it's over in 6. I got Brooklyn.
You got Brooklyn? Okay. I
All
think
right.
I think this is the toss-up. I think this is the one series you can really say it's a toss-up. It's Eddie Man series. It's either Boston or it's Brooklyn. I think Ime Udoka and this young Celtics boys have to. Ime Udoka has to outcoach Steve Nash, undeniably. He would have to undeniably outcoach Steve Nash. And then I think Jason Tatum has to sit there and say, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have to sit there and say, hey, we're on the same level as you and Kevin Durant. Like if you two go get 50, me and Jaylen Brown, between the two of us, will go get 50. Like they have to be even to even. And I think this series comes down to the others. Whose others are better and more consistent?
Right.
And as of this moment, without Ben Simmons, now Ben Simmons is the one that could change the whole series. I think, and I think Rob Williams too. I think Rob Williams could change the whole series too. So between Rob Williams and Ben Simmons, huh?
Ben Simmons on that team.
You saw him at far from
Who's gonna guard him on that team? Who's gonna guard Ben Simmons?
Who's gonna guard Ben Simmons? We have options to guard Ben Simmons.
Well,
We
it's
usually
gotta be
put Tatum or Brown or one of the other wings on him.
Marcus Smart could guard him.
No, I think you put Marcus Smart on. And you got to remember, the Celtics run a switch defense. So it doesn't matter who initially guards them. They switch everything. So
because
that's
they're
the
two-way.
Celtics strength, is that they switch everything and they say,
two-way
hey,
team.
Imano, we'll make you do something you don't want to do. And I can live with Marcus Smart on Ben Simmons, because Marcus Smart ain't gonna give Ben Simmons nothing, you know. And I think if it's Jason Tatum, that's what we done when he was in Philly. That's what Brad Stevens was doing, putting Jason Tatum on Ben Simmons and causing havoc and a problem. And even Jaylen Brown too. So like we used to do things like that. So like I said, I think coaching, I'm gonna give the nod to the Celtics, and I think the others, Marcus Smart, Derek White, Rob Williams, Grant Williams. I'll even say I think Peyton Pritchard might have a decent game one of those games. I think I'm going to I trust their others, but I won't sleep on Steph Curry. I'm not going to sleep on Steph Curry, and I'm not going to sleep on Andre Drummond, and I'm not going to sleep on Brown, because he was talking trash about coming back to New England. Even though he's from New England, he was a Celtics fan, you know, that's how it goes. But, you know.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Like Kyrie is going to, and Kyrie does so well with against those games. Like it gives him more energy. Body,
he's unguardable. Kevin Durant is unguardable.
Listen, they're gonna go and get 60. 60 game is given to you by Brooklyn. But guess what? The Nets can't play defense. So guess who else is gonna get 60? Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They will match them. It comes down to who on the other, will Marcus Smart or Steph Curry or Claxton or Rob Williams or Grant Williams, who will have the better game out of the course? That's who wins the series. That's who wins. That's who wins. It's whoever has the better.
If he did not work on his free throws, and God knows what's going to go on, but if he did not work on his free throws, the Celtics have a chance of winning.
I mean, we got this.
If he can hit 70% of his free throws, the Celtics have no chance. No chance.
Like I said, game one, we made our picks. I said toss up. Ray says that Brooklyn all day, and Ant says Bean Towns. 7-game series, number one series, probably the most watched.
I can't take to see the Nets on that New York throne, man. The Knicks supposed to be on the damn throne.
Hey,
yeah, I know.
it's what's going to happen,
man. But they own New York now. They own New York now, sadly.
Boston's coming.
Yeah, they do.
You heard it here. Talking Sports. Stay tuned. Catch the Western Conference playoffs. Catch it. Stay tuned. Next episode coming out soon the next day. So that's what we have coming for you. Talk, peace, love. Peace. See you later.